Hello, ProAdvisors. How is everyone doing? I'm so excited to be on this class. I have worked really hard this week on creating some material for you guys. I have a ebook with some practice problems and like some takeaways, things that you should be thinking about. Today, I want to focus on talking a little bit about estimated tax payments because a lot of people may not know, how to calculate that, how to do that. But I also want to focus on showing you in the software how to do a full return, including your due diligence notes. I do have 3 practice problems for tonight, but considering how much I want to explain each part of the return and the due diligence notes of it and how I do the due diligence notes, it'll probably be like, we'll do one and I'll share the problems with you. I don't know. I don't think I can upload a document here, Lewis. Can I or no?
Yes, you can. You can upload it and upload to stream it or
Yeah, like no, to send it to them so they can practice along if they choose.
oh no, I don't think that's possible. I think
It's
you can
okay, no
just
worries. I'll
give
show it to you
me.
guys first and then I'll put it into the software. I know that it is back to school time. I know that it's busy time for you guys as parents, if you're parents, if your kids are going to college, you guys have all types of things going on. So I appreciate you guys connecting and being with me. But in addition, I appreciate you dedicating time to your business. So let me go ahead and share the slide. For those of you who don't know me, just to kind of do a little bit of housekeeping here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer, and I am one of the business mentors. Aside from that, I'm actually the Director of Education in English for TSG ProAdvisor. So when it comes to education, I'd be the one who you could direct your questions to. But in addition, I'm also a mentor, so I can help you through tax returns as well. I am going to share my screen if I can find it. Right here. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to give everyone a minute to just join, and then Lewis, you can take us off the screen. There you go. Good job. All right, so this is kind of part 2 of what we did last week. If you guys missed it, you can find it on the learning platform. Lewis can link the class here. But if you missed part 1, we basically talked about who needs a Schedule C, what a Schedule C is. Today, I kind of want to touch on estimated tax payments and business tax payments. I know that a lot of you are unfamiliar with it because for a long time, I was unfamiliar with it. I had clients asking, would it be better if I made estimated payments? And I was like, if you want to. But obviously, I've learned, and I know that it is best for them to make the estimated payments to avoid some additional penalties. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. If you guys have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. I will answer questions toward the end of the course. And then, of course, like I said, we're going to do a practice return. So welcome to Schedule C Unlocked Part 2. Again, today we're talking about estimated tax payments. So today's goal is to learn who has an estimated tax payment obligation, what you'll learn, basically who will pay or who should pay estimated payments, how to do the calculation, how to accumulate for withdrawal, frequently asked questions, practice problems. And again, I have some gifts for you guys that I have worked really hard on. One of them is called a Schedule C Bible. And I named it that partially because I saw it somewhere else. I liked that. But you guys can print it. I think it's about 25 pages. You can print it and have it at your desk side. It has common NAICS codes. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. Okay, great. So who has to pay the estimated tax? I'm sorry, I didn't think I was sharing it. Individuals, including sole proprietors, partners, and S corporation shareholders, generally must make estimated tax payment if they expect to owe $1,000 or more in taxes when they file their tax return. My general rule of thumb is let's look at this past year's taxes, right? So if you guys have anybody reaching out to you online or coming into your office and asking, hey, should I be paying estimated tax payments? The first thing you should ask is, when did you owe last year? And if they tell you they don't know or they owed very little, whatever, ask to see a copy of their tax return. Once you see a copy of their tax return, if you see they owed a couple thousand, you definitely want to try to guide them to set up that payment arrangement or that estimated tax payment. In addition to the arrangement they should already have with the IRS if they didn't pay it in full. But in addition, you might want to ask some additional questions, right? And we're going to talk about that shortly. Corporations generally must make estimated tax payments if they anticipate owing $500 or more in taxes when they file their tax return. So how do the estimated payments work? Individuals, including sole proprietors, Partners and S corporation holders use the form 1040 ES, which I do have the link for you. Let me share it here in the chat. I should have shared this with you, Louis. I'm sorry, I meant to. So you guys can see what it looks like. The software has it as well. So if you're doing a client for the first year and they owe the IRS, the software already has this. So this is more for the clients who you didn't file. If they owe the IRS and they want to know how to pay, this is the form that you would be looking at. So an S corporation shareholders, they use the 1040 ES to figure their estimated tax. Resident aliens use form 1040 ES non-resident to figure their estimated tax. The 1040 ES, if the client expects to owe at least $1,000 in taxes by 2025 after subtracting withheld taxes and refundable credits, client expects his withholding taxes and refundable credits to be less than the lower of the following amounts: 90% of the tax reported on the 2025 tax return, or 100% of the tax reported on the 2024 tax return. Your 2024 tax return must cover a 12-month period. Okay. Basically, the 1040 ES consists of making 4 advance payments, one due by April 15th, the other due by June 16th, the other due by September 15th, and the last due by January 15th of the following year. So this schedule follows 2025. Let's just say a client hasn't made any of these payments. The goal is to start making some kind of payment, start paying toward it. These are the due dates. And this is basically the time period. So January 1st to March 31st, their estimated payment would be due April 15th. April 1st to May 31st, their payment would be due June 15th. June 1st to August 31st would be due September 15th. And September 1st to December 31st would be due January 15th of the following year. Okay. And that will help help their 2025 tax return. So when you file it in 2026. Where can you make the payments? The easiest way is honestly to pay it online. You can mail it, but I'll tell you right now, the IRS, being that they're operating at a lower staffing rate, the best way to pay anything is online. The best way to submit a tax return is online. The best way to make a payment with them is directly online. I would recommend all clients have an ID.me account. Okay. And I'm going to stress this a lot during these upcoming months. You guys should be educating your clients already on that ID.me account and trying to push them to create that account so that if they need anything, if they want to check their transcripts, if they want to check anything, it's going to be a little easier. They can upload documents to the IRS if they need to. They built the account in such a way that it's less communication directly with the IRS. Through my ID.me, I'm actually able to chat with the IRS. I'm not sure if that's for everybody, but through mine, I've been able to chat with them as late as 10 o'clock at night. So it's important for them to have it. These are the payment vouchers. Remember, if they owe and you did the tax return, the software will calculate this for you already for the upcoming tax year. If you didn't do their tax return, then you would just use the link I just sent you. That's where the 1040 ES is. Okay. And it comes with the 4 vouchers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You can charge from $50 per payment for this procedure. So if the client comes to you directly, you can charge them, honestly, you can charge them whatever you want, but I charge about $50. So I-10 clients, Amy, they would use 1040 ES, the NR, if they owe the IRS. Okay. That's for the estimated tax. Again, if you're doing them in your software and they owe the IRS, then it'll automatically have the estimated tax for you. I'm actually going to show you a scenario here today, how they look in the software. You can print them and give them to the client. It even has an amount of what they should be paying per quarter. Okay, that's in Spanish. So what is an SE schedule, or what is a Schedule SE? Basically, that's the self-employment tax. In the practice problems that I've given to you or that I've sent to you guys, I don't know what the star is. I don't know if you did that, Louis. So if you did, thank you. But I already answered her. The self-employed tax. So you would find this on Schedule 2. That's where it tells you where the self-employed tax is. So who's required to fill it out? The net income is taken from line 31 of the Schedule C. If line 31 of the Schedule C is greater than $400, they're going to have to add the Schedule SE. Oh, that's what you're talking about. I'll get back to you on that, Amy. Give me a second. So with the SE, they're paying Social Security tax and Medicare tax. Remember, it's 15.3% of their income, of the taxable income. The software automatically adds this form for you. So as long as you are doing the tax return and you have the Schedule C, you'll see that the Schedule SE will auto-populate. If you didn't do the return, then it is a form you may want to look at, but at least if you don't have the SE, you know to look for that number, the amount that they owe on the Schedule 2. This is what the self-employment form looks like. I know that it is not zoomed in all the way, but when I'm in the software, I'll show it to you a little bit better, okay? So we're going to go ahead and practice some problems, but just to give you kind of a rundown here, this is Juan Martinez. His line 31 is $4,500. Essentially, he owes Social Security the 12.4% and Medicare 2.90%. The total calculation, obviously, if it is 15.3%, so he would owe the IRS $688. If you guys don't believe me, you can take your calculator, take 4,500, multiply that by 15.3%, and you'll get the amount of $688 that he'd owe. A lot of times you'll have a client reach out to you, again, online or in person, and they'll say, hey, after expenses, I made $20,000. How much do you think I'll owe? You can actually give them a rough estimate based on that, because obviously you can't tell them the exact amount because you don't know what other documents they have. Maybe they had a sale of a home and they have capital gains. Maybe their husband has a W-2 or their wife has additional income. So you can give them a rough estimate, such as this situation. Okay, you're telling me that your net income is $4,500. 4,500 times the 15.3, you'd owe the IRS roughly $688, depending on what else you have on the tax return. How it accumulates for retirement. So this is outside of TSG. We don't really mess with this stuff, but it is important to know. Those self-employed clients, an important note, because a lot of times we are doing a tax return and the client doesn't want to owe. So we're busy like deducting and doing a bunch of things to kind of help them not owe. And obviously they have the expenses to kind of stand up for not owing. But in order for them to earn Social Security benefits, they have to have at least 40 Social Security credits. The client is going to accumulate these credits when they work and they pay the Social Security taxes. Since 1978, you can earn up to a maximum of 4 credits per year. That is something that was not changed in the One Big Beautiful Bill, so you guys don't have to worry about it. It is 4 credits per year. Credits are based on total wages and self-employment income for the year. You can work all year and earn 4 credits, or you can earn enough for all 4 credits in less time. Again, 4 credits per year. Remember, they need 40, okay? The amount of earnings needed to qualify for the credits can change each year. In 2025, you get 1 Social Security and 1 Medicare credit for every $1,800 in covered net earnings each year. So essentially, they must earn at least $7,240 net to earn the maximum of 4 credits per year. Okay, I hope that made sense. If it didn't, again, ask the questions. This is not something you typically educate your client on. If they want to know about Social Security, I send them to Social Security. But if you're comfortable discussing this, and it's not that I'm not comfortable, I just don't want to take on that responsibility in the event they're like, okay, well, then make it to where I made $10,000, because that's not how my job works. I can explain this to them, but I don't want them to feel like I'm going to manipulate the tax return to make it to where they make enough so they can get the credits that they need. That's not how this works. All right, so let me jump in. I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to jump into the practice problem. So let me go here. I'm going to show you what the practice problem looks like. We're going to work on the first problem, and that one has dependents on it. So we're going to do some notes as well. Window, entire screen. This one. Okay. So in the event that we don't get to do all 3 problems, I will send this to you guys as well, so you have it. But we're going to work on problem number 1, which is a self-employed parent with 2 kids. Her name is Sarah Martinez. She's filing head of household. She has 2 qualifying children, ages 7 and 4, with valid Social Security numbers. She is a barber or a hairdresser, however you want to name it. Her income is about $32,000. She has a mix of 1099s and cash payments. Her expenses are $4,107. Advertising is $1,356. She has some vehicle expenses, so her miles are 5,012. Her home electricity bill is $1,866 for the year. She has no other income. She paid $2,500 in daycare costs for her youngest child so she could work. She has no health insurance for 3 months. So again, at least federally, the health insurance part doesn't really matter anymore. But if they reside in a state where it does matter, you kind of want to take that into account. All right, so let's jump into the software, which I cannot find. Here it is. And we are going to move this over here so I can kind of see exactly what I'm doing. All right, in these problems, I didn't really come up with a social security number. In the book that I made for you guys, I do have social security numbers, but in the event that you're using the demo software, you don't quite have your software yet, and the number you see that it tells you you can't use it because it's already in the system, just change it up. It's just practice, so it's not going to affect you. And I'm doing a return from scratch, so bear with me because I want to make sure that you guys see everything from the beginning to end, especially for those of you who are not familiar with the software. For those of you that are, bear with me. I know you guys are good at this already, but I still want to make sure you guys see it. All right. So for me, I like to use all caps in the software. We've got Sarah Martinez. She's an adult, so we're going to give her a birthday of 1988. She is a barber. She's a hairstylist. I like that better because she's female. We don't have a PIN number for her. Obviously, we're just now putting her into the system, so we haven't necessarily ask the questions. I know the scenario says head of household, so we're going to go with that. But remember, before you can qualify them for a filing status, you need to ask proper questions. Was she married? Does she have dependents? We know she does. Okay, they're her son and her daughter. Great. Does she provide more than half of the support? If she says yes, great. Do you have proof of that? In case the IRS asks, great. I will use head of household. In the event that she doesn't, then I would just use single. Okay. Here we're going to put an address. Let's come up with a cool address. 4523 TSG Lane. And we're going to use a Miami zip code. For her email address, I always, even if I'm practicing, guys, I like to fill this out completely because for those of you who are new, you've got to familiarize yourself with the software and the errors you're going to get, the places you're going to get errors at. Okay. And then down here is for the direct deposit information. I'm going to go ahead and add it. Even if the client potentially owes the IRS, this is part of my intake process. So I still put in their direct deposit information. Okay. And then we'll click on save. The very next step for me, my flow of things is to follow the flow of the software. So essentially I would go to the additional info and add like the license information, but I'm going to skip that right now. We're going to go to the dependents. We know that she has 2 of them. So we're going to use Jamie Lopez with that's her dots. Okay, that's her son. And then we'll put a date of birth 01/2006. Did it do it? Okay. Now we'll give them a fake social of 159887452. 159887452. We will leave the rest of it blank. Familiarizing yourself with the software, you know, once you hit head of household, you have to check this, so you could do that there. They didn't have Obamacare. We'll click next or save. And then this problem said that she had 2 kids, and we'll add new. This one is that is also her son, who was born 2000. Right, 18, and then also social 253635252, 253635252. Great, we'll put head of household. The tax problem does say that she paid $2,500 in childcare, so you can add that there. And then again, no Obamacare, click no and save. Notice nothing is happening over here, right? Because we haven't entered any income. I need to zoom this out a bit, guys, sorry. We haven't entered any income, so nothing is calculated here. The very next step in this practice problem, I didn't create a 1099, but I'm going to link everything so you guys can see how it works from beginning to end. We will add the Schedule C first. She is a hairstylist. Remember, when I don't know the NAICS code, I just Google. And that is 812112. Just go back to the software, 812112. I'm sorry, this up here goes service. The next one is 812112. Scroll down. Now here, in the event Sarah has a business name, it is important, imperative. Probably one of the most important things you're going to do is ask if they have a business name and if they have an LLC set up, right? Because this is where you are reporting their business information. So let's just say Sarah was Sarah Styles. And she has a tax ID 9A, right? Perfect. Now at the bottom, we can click save. that saves it. Again, I haven't added any income, but I want to show you guys, I'm going to add a 1099 on here. I want to show you how to link it. So you would add, remember, you always have to add the Schedule C first to keep the flow of things nicely. Then you go into the 1099 NEC, click on add new. For this situation, I'll just, put that in. It doesn't matter that it doesn't match right now. Again, we're just practicing. And it says here that she made $32,025. So I'm going to put that she made $30,000 on the schedule, on the 1099 NEC. Paid no taxes in it. That's fine. We're going to link it. So here where it says reporting section, where do you want to report 1099 NEC box 1? Pick from list, and your Schedule C is already here. In the event that you miss the process of adding the Schedule C, this is not going to be there and it's going to confuse you. So always add that Schedule C first. Click use and then save down at the bottom. Notice things are starting to happen. Right now she qualifies for a refund of $5,000, but we still have a little bit of income to add because that is just the 1099 NEC. She made $32,025. So in cash, I'm going to add that she made $2,025 just to make it match the problem. Okay. Now in here, it says that she spent in supplies $4,107. In advertising, she spent $1,356. In vehicle expenses, like the mileage, it also says that she has $5,000 in mileage. So we have to ask, when did you put the vehicle in service? Make sure that she used the vehicle to go to and from clients. She used it for business, not to take her kid to and from school, nothing like that. It has to be that she had clients, like she visited clients, right? Again, industry specific. It doesn't make sense if you work from home. I don't know, you're I'm trying to think IT tech, I don't know, and you deal with clients from home, and I asked you the first time, do you ever travel to see a client, and you tell me no, but then you come with a receipt for mileage. That doesn't make sense, right? But for her, again, we're going with the practice problem. We're just going to go ahead and add it. These 4 answers you would ask: was this vehicle available for personal usage during off-duty hours? If they say yes, just mark it yes. Do you or your spouse have another vehicle for personal use? Yes or no. If it's no, then just leave it no. Do you have evidence to support your deduction? Yes or no. Again, inform your clients, educate them, download apps like MyLIQ or SimplyWise. MyLIQ costs money, SimplyWise doesn't, and they can turn it on and turn it off. Your goal here is to help them maintain their documents and also make sure that you're compliant, right? You're educating them. Is the evidence written? Yes. The rest of the 2 can stay no. Their deduction here is $3,358. Now, the other deduction that she had was home electricity. So I'm going to go ahead and add it down here, though there is a way to add it up at the top. But I'm going to just leave it here. So what is something that you guys can think of off the top of your head that a hairstylist uses that I have not accounted for in her expenses? What can you guys guess a hairstylist uses that she didn't document in her expenses? Oh, sure. Just if I zoom in too much, it comes out of the picture. Hairspray. Okay, so I would assume that's under supplies, right? That's okay. Chris, booth rent. So it seems that she works from home, right? So because we deducted the electricity, but another deduction she could have is whatever her rent is, right? Depending if she has a dedicated space for her business. But also she does travel for seeing her clients. So maybe she doesn't necessarily work directly from her house. Maybe she just goes to visit the client. She might not have rent. But yes, LM bookkeeping, Joanna, yes, cell phone. It's still blurry. Is it still blurry? Louis, do you see it blurry?
No, I don't.
I don't know how to fix it, Mama. This is the most I can zoom in here.
No, but it's not blurry. I think it could be her connection.
Okay, but it could. Yeah, tax dad says it's fine. Everybody says okay. Amy says water. That's a great one. That might already be included in supply. So you can also ask the kinds of questions. If they bring you that profit and loss, and you see that they have supplies 4,100, you can ask, what are some of the things that you included in your supplies? Because remember, our goal here is to help her decrease her tax liability, but also do things correctly. So if she mentioned, yeah, I supply them with crackers and water and soda and whatever, okay, that could probably go under supplies. But cell phone, that's so important. It's the first thing that popped out, because how do you get a hold of clients? It's not all social media. And if it is social media, who's paying your Wi-Fi? Right? There's got to be, or not Wi-Fi, the internet. Right? There's got to be more expenses. And this is our part to dig deep. Remember, your tax return has to tell a story. In the event of an audit, the auditor is going to ask you, what types of business did your client have? Right? So you guys have to ask, what type of expenses, I should say, did your client have for their business? And yes, you could say supplies, but you should have an idea of what's included in those supplies, right? Julia, electricity is already on there. So yes, but cell phone, how does she communicate with her clients? Absolutely. And don't forget, last week I told you guys about the audit guide that you can find on the IRS website, where you can find some of the common expenses for certain industries. Okay. All right. So this is set. Let's just say that she says, oh, I forgot my cell phone. Yes, I pay, I don't know, $60, whatever. I'm just going to come up with an amount here and just put $525. And then we will click on save. Amy, how about clothes? If she has a uniform, if she has logoed uniform or like the aprons, sure. But if it's not, then no. At least that's what I tell the clients. Right. Tax dad said insurance and any licenses. That's right. That's something that you would ask. So Haley says continued education. That's absolutely right as well. These are the things you're going to ask. Are you required to have a license? Yes. Okay. How much was your license in 2025? Oh, I didn't pay for it. I have to pay for it every 2 years. Great. Answered the question. How about your continued education? Do you need continued education? No, my business doesn't require a license. Okay, great. You've asked the question. You've documented the response. Okay. Now, based on everything that she's told us and her income, it looks like she's getting a refund of $6,546. More times than not, our client's going to be very happy with that. We're going to click on verify here and try to clear out all of these little things that we have to clear out. Remember, for this part, you're just always going to auto-generate the PIN. If your software doesn't already have your ERO PIN, just make up a 5-digit number. It's fine. Click save, then verify again. Remember that it said she had to pay daycare expenses. Now, from experience, I know that it doesn't matter what she paid in daycare. It's not giving her any type of deduction because it goes on the 2441, not as a business expense. So you could add this, you could remove it. Either way, it's not going to make a difference on the tax return. But because she said that she had it, she wants to have it documented, we can add it. How do we choose the ERO PIN? Is it assigned to us? No, it's just a random 5-digit number. I use my zip code. Nobody sees that. That's an not IRS. That is a software thing. Okay, and it said that she paid $2,200 in childcare. If you want to leave it on the return, that is totally okay. You don't have to. Okay, we'll click on verify again. Oh, sorry. Was it 2,200? 2,500. I'm sorry. 2,500. See, the software knows. But tax dad, I think you can call support and they can set it up for you where it's automatic and you don't have to do it for every client. Okay. You guys know this page is to put in ID information. I'm going to skip it just to kind of bypass this and get to the next part. But I recommend every client, even if they're not doing a bank product, enter their ID information. You don't have to. It's just what I recommend. Due diligence. Remember, we're going to answer the questions. You guys already know. You should read each question and make sure that they qualify. But again, I'm going to answer them so that we can bypass to the next screen. This is a due diligence note. Remember, whatever you put in this specific box, you have to have, or it's an automatic fine. So if you put in there that you relied on school documents, on the light bill, on whatever to qualify them for certain credits, you better have that in the event of an IRS audit, because if you don't, automatic penalty. So for here, I put did not rely on docs, but made notes in file, right? And then these I'll just put yes, yes, no, yes, just to get through it. I would say this is probably the one thing that I despise, because the answers should always be the same for clients. But, you know, can we do? And then verify again, okay? For the most part, there's no critical errors that are going to cause rejection. We can X out of that. Ultimately, the client is happy. We can close the return here. And then you can send for the signature. Now, remember, we need to ask our questions. And I'm going to show you guys tonight how Jenny does it. You guys build your own systems. That's okay. This is what I do. It has proven successful to me. But you guys do whatever is good for you. No, that's not what I look for. TSG diligence packet. All of you guys have access to this on Talent LMS. It's not just unique to me or special to me. First and foremost, due diligence. One thing that I always do is I gather a sworn statement. Although Sarah is the mother, I have a sworn statement for her. Right? And I forgot her kids' names. I think it was Jaylani and Troy Lopez. Notice it automatically populates the other information. We're going to put in today's date as the execution date. And then here, if the client is in your office, they can sign the return. I wonder if it's going to let me do it. It does. So Sarah, right? So that looks great. Let's go. I usually just, save it, print it to PDF, and it saves to my computer. I'm doing the full thing so you guys can see how I do it to the software. So this is Sarah's sworn statement, right? And I do this step by step. Once I have Sarah's sworn statement, I go to the DM docs and I upload the document. It doesn't matter if it's spelled correctly or not. I put a post yesterday on social media. I'm at a stage where whatever it says, it's your problem to figure it out. But I know it's spelled wrong. It's okay. So now in her document archive, she has her sworn statement. Okay. Then the next step I do is income reconstruction. So for her, notice that there isn't like a lawn. What is this? There isn't one for hairstylist. You can always change it, guys. This is interchangeable. Oh, yeah, here it's right here. Income here. All right, this is the fun part. This is the stuff that I want you guys to understand. I want you guys to listen to me when I tell you this stuff, because this is important. And these forms that we built and we put in place is only for your benefit, not ours from a mentee perspective. Monet, the Excel sheets with this information is in the learning platform. Lewis, if you can get it from the learning platform and share it with them, like the link to the welcome to TSG, that's where everything is. You should be able to download it. If you can't, please let me know, but it is there. Okay. Now, yeah, the TSG due diligence packet, that's what that is. And it's all here already. It's all pre-does it. Now, I've already seen her sworn statement, her profit and loss, or we've already gone over with her income and expenses. So I usually take this from the Schedule C and I put it in. But in the event that the client doesn't have this information, this is where I come up with numbers. This is where I build her income, right? So because I have it from the Schedule C, I can just come over here. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to move the software over to the other screen. Guys, this is what saved me from my most recent audit. So please listen and take notes. We're going to go to her Schedule C. Ooh, I got a headache. We're going to go to her Schedule C, right? Right. Her income, we can get the numbers from here. Her income is $32,025. Don't do that anymore. Okay. Do you see how it already calculated the monthly income for her? Automatically. Now, her income minus expenses is the 20,813. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing that. It's my computer issue. Not for you guys. All right. So for her, I now list her expenses. Remember, if your client didn't come with a profit and loss, or you don't know, how to come up with these numbers, this is where you're going to build it, right? How much do you spend on supplies? I spend $100 a month. 100 times 12 is $1,200. You're going to put it into that, right? For her, she spent 4,107. I don't know how to fix it. Sorry. She spent in advertising 1,356. She spent in cell phone, I think I said 525. So supplies, advertising, electricity. Electricity was 1866. Notice there isn't a space here for electricity. No big deal. Again, this part I would say spell it right. Because in the event of your client has to sign this, so you want to make sure that it looks right. Electricity, right? 1866. And then I like for it to match my Schedule C. So I'll come here and I'll put mileage, and then I'll put in the amount from the Schedule C, which was 33.58. I make sure that it matches the Schedule C profit and loss, right? Because I want the information to look the same. So I'm going to show you I'm going to show you briefly the software. Right? Notice the number here says 11,212. You guys see that? If I bring over the software again, her total expenses is 11,212. So we're on the right track. We're great. What do you think is something that, as professionals learning about due diligence audits and all of that, based on the class that I gave you guys last week, what is something that makes this return a red flag? Tax dad, for this scenario, because I have the profit and loss, or the scenario that I just gave you, or the document I just gave you, I keep this to tie it to the return, and I'll show you why else in just a second. But I also use this to build tax, like if they don't have receipts and they don't have their income and expenses, because I'll ask specific questions, which I'll show you in a second. So Haley, no, because technically it's just 0 cents. Everything else ended in a number. So you see 1866, 4107, 3358, 1356, 525. Her income, her taxable income is, well, her total income is 20,000. Taxable, we're not even going to go to taxable yet. Her total income is 20,813 after her expenses. So, right, tax dad said it right here. Is she surviving on just that income? I told you guys, the IRS is very traditional in thought. This is where I'm going to say, okay, you made $20,000. How much you pay in rent? At this point, yes, I have the question somewhere else, but I ask them now, how much do you pay in rent? Because now this doesn't tell me a full story, because I know what rent is out there, right? But I'm getting ahead of myself. She's a hairstylist. So I ask her, okay, you do braids. How many do you do per day? Let's just say she says 5. How much? Oh my goodness, this is going to make me upset. I'm just going to leave it zoomed in just so you guys can see this part. Let's just say she says $50. Okay, great. How many clients do you do per day? Or you could put, how much do you charge? How much do you charge? I'm doing this wrong. How many clients do you do a day? Right? So she charges $50 per braids. She does 19 clients a day. That's an exaggerated number. It's a little difficult. I guess if she's just doing short braids, it makes sense. But, whatever. Let's just say she does 7 a day. Just kind of coming up with a number. How much does she charge for installing weave? And you don't have to know this stuff. You can ask, what kind of hair do you do? I do braids, I do weaves, I do boho braids, I do blowouts, I do hair dye, whatever. Okay, great. Hair dye. Whoops, sorry. How many hair dyes do you do a day or a month? You can change this to say month. That's fine too. If she says, I do 15, how much do you charge? $100. Okay, great. This is where I start to look at things. Remember, these numbers need to match, right? She said that she makes about $2,600 a month. So if this number down here says she only made $1,850, granted, it can happen, friends, right? Because this is a business. This is a business. And we as tax preparers know, today I made $300. Tomorrow I might make zero. Yesterday I made $10,000. Tomorrow I might make $20,000. It all depends on the day and fluctuation. So it very well can be a thing. You have to be able to explain it. And this is how you explain it. You ask these questions, right? How much do you charge for weave? I charge $75. How many do you do a month? 10. This is close-ish to what she says she makes a month. We're good. I'll leave it there just for this training purpose, okay? Now, is it necessary to put a client list? No. And I'll tell you, some clients may feel like you're being very invasive if you ask these questions. But me, I don't care about being invasive because I don't want to be hit with a penalty. So I just say, hey, Sarah, can you give me 3 clients and their phone numbers? I'm not going to call them. I just need it for the file in case the IRS requests it. A lot of times the client will say, yeah, you can call Monique. I'm just coming up with a name, guys. Monique Suarez, and her number is, oh my goodness. Louis, I need to fix this and I don't know how, but it's okay. We don't have to do it today. 786-525, right? Whatever, make it up. And I just say 3, but if they give you more, that's fine. Who else does she do? Andre Jones, and his number is 305-88. And she also does Ashley Swift, since TaxStat is such a Swift fan. And her number is 813-451. Right? So I've got my 3 clients. That doesn't make the story. It doesn't break the story. I'm just telling you it looks nice on the form, right? This is where your story is going to start tying together. Again, your stuff should... Why? Okay. This is where your story is going to start tying together. Remember, your intake documents that we've already provided you, so you don't even have to come up with anything, ask these questions. But a client is scared to give you the right answers or the truthful answers because they think that this income is taxed. They think that if they say they get child support, they're not going to get the earned income credit. Again, education is key. Hey, I need to know how much you make in child support because I need to see if this, I need to tell a story. Be honest. If you're not honest with your client, they're not going to know. Right? So yeah, I get $300 for the 2 kids. Right? Okay, so you get an additional $600 a month. Great. You make $20,000. Do you get any other assistance? Yeah, I get food stamps. Okay, how much do you get in food stamps? For the 3 of us, I get $745. One time a month, $745. Great. Child support is here again. You guys can delete it. Doesn't really matter. All right. You told me you pay $2,000 in rent. You pay that by yourself? If she says yes, stop. Somebody else is paying that rent. Because at $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year. How is she paying that if she only makes $20,000 a year? Okay. More times than not, people who are making $20,000 do get Section 8. Okay, so how much do you get in Section 8? Section 8 pays my full rent of $2,000 a month. Perfect. One time a month, $2,000. So in addition to her income of whatever the amount was at the top, she gets an additional $3,345, right? See how the story is starting to be tied together? Up here, look at this. Bread and butter. Listen to me. This is the key to keeping yourself out of a situation. You guys following me? Yes, thumbs up. Do whatever you need to do. Tell me that you're following me. You guys get where this number is coming from. Yes, yes, great. Do you see how this now tells a story? Is it more believable that she can survive on $72,000 a year versus $20,000 a year? That makes more sense. That is what the IRS wants to see. This is what kept me doing okay with the IRS. Okay. And then over here, which is just the other side of the form, I'll zoom out just so you guys can see it, though it's going to zoom me in again. Here you could just put a month, right? You guys came up with this number based off of numbers from January 2025. More times than not, it's going to be December because that's the most recent month and that's where they're going to pull the numbers from, but that's okay. And then down here, the company name, we already said that the company name is Sarah Styles. And then the business that she offers is hairstylist. I'm going to zoom out again. I'm annoyed because I can't zoom out. Oh, no, I can. Yeah, there we go. Notice, my friends, everything has been pulled over from this side. See it? See her income, see her expenses. It's not going to match verbatim because here it says 2,600. So this doesn't really impact this. It's looking at these numbers up here. Okay. You'll have Miss Sarah sign this. You can do it the same way if she's in person. If not, send her, you know, I don't care if she signs it somewhere else, whatever. Sarah. It could look great like that. Doesn't even need the date. I'm not even worried about the date. If they want to add it in, that's fine. The date is 8/13/25. And we do the same thing. File, print, and we're going to put Sarah Income Recon. Save. Right? Here's where I go back to the software to make sure it's still alive because you guys know that it times out. DM Docs, upload document. And then we could put this as other and then just upload it from here. Upload document. Okay, now we've got her sworn statement and we've got her income reconstruction. This looks fantastic. The file's starting to look put together. Great. Next step. How you guys handle your notes is going to be specific to your business. I'm going to be discussing this a bit tomorrow, but how you guys handle the notes is going to be specific to your business. You guys do and say whatever you think is, not whatever you think is correct, but whatever process you think is correct. Sometimes if I'm trying to be fast, I'll have like a notepad next to me. And as my client is talking, or I'll have it on my computer because I have multiple screens, as she's talking to me, I'm taking a break, typing over here, right? What school does Jaylani go to? I ask her the question while we're just in conversation. Make it seem like you're looking for a school for your kid, or how are the schools in Texas if it's a out-of-state client? You can say, how are the school in Texas? Oh, you know, I don't like the school because whatever. Great. Oh, what school does Jaylani go to? Oh, she goes to Texas Elementary. Okay, great. Type that somewhere because you're going to need it later, right? We know that she's not under 24, so we can skip these notes completely, right? The next section is a mother with all dependents that have the same last name. So she doesn't have the same last name as the dependents, but this is asking if they do have the same last name. And the reason why it's separated is because if mom has the last name as the kids, for the most part, again, traditional thinking, she's married or was married, right? If they have different last names, like in this situation, she's Sarah Martinez, the kids are Lopez, that's fine. You can still answer the questions. The first question is, were you married or have you ever been married? No. Where is the father of the child? Again, make this conversation. Don't seem so audity. Don't seem so IRS-y because that's not who we are. We're building a relationship with our clients to make them feel comfortable with us. So where's the father of the qualifying child? In today's political climate, he probably got deported. Deported in January of 2024. Great. Does he work? Not that I know of. Does he help you financially? No. Do you live with anyone else in your household? Yes. My mom lives with me. And I'm just coming up with these answers at the top of my head because I want to show you what I do next. But these should really be questions that you're asking your client as you go. Who takes care of the kids while you're working? Some parents will tell you they come with me because that's why I work for myself. I can't afford daycare. In this situation, she is paying daycare, so obviously that makes sense. So my mom helps, and that's okay, after school and during the day. They are in school and daycare. Cool. Where do the children go to school? Is that an important question? Honestly, it's not. You guys can remove it, but just again, for the training of this, we'll put it. And this is obviously the same question, so you guys can delete it. The next part is, this is for fathers. This is for disabled, and then this is for low income. So do you receive any additional income or support? You guys already know the answer because she told us she gets food stamps. She told us she gets Section 8. She told us all this stuff. So yes. Do you have this is important. This is for self-employment. Do you have records to support your income? Yes. I have bank statement. Great. Can you provide a list of your clients? Yes. Available upon request. Do you have a license or is a license required? Oh, man. I'm using Eddie's keyboard. I'm usually a much faster typer. Why? Okay, yes. We'll come back to it. It's fine. Do you have a license or is one required? No license required. Do you buy supplies? Yes. How much do you charge for your services? Break it down. Ask these questions. For braids, I charge $50. For dyes, I charge, no, so I don't know what I said, $75. For weave, I charge $300. I'm just putting it together, guys. And do you have business cards? No. And here's where you can ask, okay, well, you have money in advertising. What do you spend in advertising, or how do you spend it? I use social media. Okay. All right. So then what you can do is you can take this, and this, my friends, is where I came up with the other summary that chat. I don't make a
Jenny, you stopped hearing for a second. I think your connection's having a problem. Yeah, I think her internet got disconnected or something. I'll text her real quick to see if she's having a problem. Let's just wait a few seconds. Okay, everybody, let's give it a few seconds. I just texted her through WhatsApp to see if, yeah, she's telling me she's relogging in. So let's just wait for her to be back. Thank you, everyone, and sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, there she is.
All right, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, Lewis is saying yes, so I'm assuming we're good. If it goes, I'm sorry. If it goes out again, let me know. But let's get back to where I left off. So what I do is, oh, I got so silent in here now. Anyway, what I do is I go to ChatGPT and I say, I take it, I paste it, I send it. It might take a little bit of time because this thing's not working properly, but it's fine. So do you notice some of these things you can delete? I didn't delete it from the actual sheet, so it's fine. I'm going to see if I have the one that I did for my actual audit. Well, not for the audit, how I had my notes, but anyway, it's fine. So what you can do is you can take the notes from where you have it in the Excel sheet. You can come and say, hey, ChatGPT, please summarize this for me. Or you can go directly to the one I sent you. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if this is a Word document though. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I sent it to you guys. Now, of course, I can't find it because that's just my life. How this works. Okay, I'll share this. I'll show it to you guys how it is here. It's fine. I saved it somewhere else. So notice you can separate it like this. If this makes more sense to you and it's better for you. Oh, it's not sharing. Let me reshare. Okay, notice here at the top, it says marital status. You guys can summarize it like this. ChatGPT is my best friend. I asked ChatGPT to do it. But the important note here is that I use the Excel and then I take it and I make it this. So it's not an interview like that, because the IRS knows that you're not sitting there asking these questions verbatim and getting the answers and typing them verbatim. You very well might be. If that's your process and procedure, that's great. But and for me, that is my process, but I like the way this looks. It looks much cleaner. It's better. And in each section, so for this client, again, this is a live client of mine. Her dependents were Cody, Jariah, and Nyla. They were her grandchildren. I even specified her daughter's children because obviously you could have a son and a daughter. The custody background, basically the daughter struggles with substance abuse. Taxpayer has cared for the children since birth. Fathers are absent, provide no support. Residency, children have lived with the taxpayer full-time since the birth of all of 2023. Documentation available to confirm shared residence and identity. Childcare, children attend school and aftercare while taxpayer works. Dependency justification. I always put in a note that the client qualifies for said credit based on whatever the credit requirement is. So remember, the requirement for EIC is relationship and residency. Here, for sources of income, if she were self-employed, I would have put the self-employment. But for this specific scenario, she was a W-2, and I put that on there. And then I broke down her food stamps. I broke down that she got Medicaid and then whatever. So then total non-taxable support was an additional $6,000 to her income. So notice that I'm telling a story with this. And then here, what credits did she qualify for? I put in the credits that she qualified for, which was based on relationship, residency, and support. The IRS regulations. This comes directly from the horse's mouth, guys. This comes directly from the EIC due diligence training. IRS regulations state that public assistance used for support counts as taxpayer support per IRS due diligence training. That comes directly from the IRS. On readiness, I have this in all my notes. I make sure I ask the client, do you have proof in the event of an IRS audit? If they say yes, great. If they say no, I tell them to get it because the IRS very well could audit them, right? How does she afford the rent? She lives in affordable housing, pays $800 for a 3-bedroom unit. I'm not the FBI. I'm not going to ask her for rent receipts. That's not my job. My job is to ask questions and document her responses. Pays bills through paycheck to paycheck budgeting. Income is consistent and covers household needs. And then my additional notes, you guys screenshot this right now. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it better. Everybody see it? No inconsistencies, incomplete or incorrect information found. I advise the client on maintaining documentation of income, residency, relationship, and support in the event of an IRS audit. IRS EIC rules confirm taxpayer qualifies based on relationship and residency. No one else can claim the dependents. Taxpayer is prepared for audit with necessary documentation. I just told a story. The IRS looks at this return. If they decide to audit the client, that's on them. I did my job. Right? And this was a bad example because this one is not self-employed and we're specifically talking about self-employed. Let me think of someone who's self-employed. Hamilton, not him. Maybe him. I don't remember. Right here. Yep. This one is self-employed. So I basically broke it down because he's claiming his niece and nephew and son, and I had to clarify the relationship. So where is your son's mom, but also where's Simone and Jonathan's mom? Now, I know these people personally, so I know their specific situation, but I've notated everything on here. So you guys see it? Notice how it makes sense? Okay. Now, this person qualified for all of this, the self-employment income. I broke it down exactly how you see it on the earned income credit worksheet. I mean, not the earned income credit worksheet. On the Excel sheet is exactly how it is on here. I didn't add any fluff. I didn't add anything different. This is where it is. Audit readiness, proof of income, expenses, and business activity available. I personally, because I'm nosy, not because I have to, because I'm nosy, I made sure that he had an actual business. I went to his social media account and I checked. But that's me because I'm nosy. Something got disconnected. All right. I got to wrap this up because my computer's dying. And then again, here all right. You guys can still hear me, right? Because it kind of glitched out.
Yeah, so I think you got disconnected again for a while there.
But you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Where did I leave off?
I can't tell, to be honest.
Okay, anybody want to tell me where I left off? Because I don't remember, or I didn't realize when it went off. But ultimately, guys, these notes have to be foolproof, and this is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to accomplish it. I sent this to everyone in my team. I don't recall if I sent it to everyone and you know anybody else's team, but if I didn't, I can share it. It's no big deal because I have this separated just like this. But again, I use ChatGPT to summarize what I do in the Excel sheet. You guys build it however you want. Oh, it was only 20 seconds. Okay. So you guys build it however you want, but this is how I'm telling you I do it and how I've been able to pass that audit. I have no fines based on self-employed people claiming kids that don't belong to them. I don't have a penalty on that because I document very well. And this is what you guys should be doing too. Okay. Again, if you don't have the notes, let me know and I will send them to you. All right, so let me show you guys the little gift I have for you guys. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Oh, how do I? All right, great. I don't know how to do it. I'm just going to share my window again because it's not a presentation, so I can't show it to you that way. Anyway, the Schedule C deduction Bible. Remember, this might change now that the IRS is going to change things a bit. I added in here this, but you guys can print this directly from the IRS website. It's a little book, very nice, general deductions, right? And then we've got some additional faster ways to find. Here's some deductions on a specific industry. So for example, what did I have here? Rideshare and delivery drivers. You have some direct expenses of what they should have. Content creators. So for tax data, you're looking to kind of go that way. Yeah, I'll share it to Eddie, no problem. Tax data, you're looking to kind of go that way. These are some deductions that they can qualify for as well. Beauty industry, realtors and real estate industry, construction contractors. This is 13 pages. I thought it was 20. It's 13. Whatever. You guys can print this, have it right by your desk, and use it as you find necessary. Lewis, sorry, Lewis, I was going to call you Julio. Lewis is going to be uploading this, I think, to the learning platform, so you guys have access to it. But I'm sharing it here with you now, so you have it for whatever you need it for. If you want to print it and kind of have it already. Oh, text that I'm looking at your text. The gifts that I sent before. Oh, you guys are fast. Looking at it already. Good job. The list that we sent before should be on the learning, not the list. I'm sorry, the gift, like the one that I did last week, which I forget. No, the Big Beautiful Bill one. That should be on Talent LMS. If it's not, let me know. I also created 5 Schedule C problems for you guys. Look, I found the error. I created 5 Schedule C problems with you guys for you guys, and I even created an answer key so you guys can make sure that you're matching what I've done in the software. And then some key takeaways, some Q&As that you have there. I should say, because I got this also from another tax professional. I added fluff to it, like I added some information to it, but I really think it's important that you guys see these things too. Keeping things organized, avoiding common mistakes, making complex terms simple, so things that clients don't understand. Clients don't understand earned income credit or EITC. So, simplify it, make it make sense to them. Building trust with clients. There, you guys have a lot in this as well. I'm going to share this with you too. I just ask that you don't share it with anyone else, because again, I worked hard on this, and the other preparer worked hard on this, and I don't sell it. She sells it. I don't sell it yet. I guess I should, but I don't. Can't edit. I don't want nobody to edit it. Just view it. Copy link. Okay. And I'm going to send this to you guys here. But also, again, Lewis is going to send it to you guys. I will share this in the groups in case it doesn't get to Talent LMS, because I honestly don't know how Talent LMS works with, or the learning platform works with Canva. So I'll send it to you guys. I love how you guys are looking at it. It makes me so happy. You guys are so cute. Okay, good job. But yes, I'll share it to each group so you guys have it. Any questions? Anything you guys want to see? Anything you guys want me to like? I'm so sorry about the internet connection tonight. It truly wasn't my intention. I even came to my office. I'm not home tonight. I came to my office to avoid internet problems and ran into the biggest one. I've never had this problem at home. Monet, yes, I'm going to be sending that link tonight as well. I just created it. I feel like you guys fully understand, or you're speechless. I don't know which of the two, and it's okay. Whichever way you're standing on this, that's okay. But in the event that you guys end up having questions, or you want to ask me something, please feel free to reach out. If I don't answer you immediately, you guys know my life already, but I will get back to you, or I will have your mentor answer you as well. But in the meantime, if you guys don't have any other questions, I want to let you guys go for the night. Next week, we will be discussing the marketing side of things. And important. Book your tax summit tickets. Elizabeth and I are working on something that is going to take your breath away. It's going to be breathtaking for you guys. But we are working hard on our presentation. I know all of us are. All of the mentors that are presenting at the Tax Pro Summit are all working our butts off to make sure that it is something that is worth your time. Yes, it's going to be for all English groups. It's going to be something that's going to be worth your time. But I know for marketing specifically, we are giving it our all. And I give you guys my all every week. So you're gonna hear the same things a little bit. But Elizabeth is building things that I don't know how to build, but she's doing it. So she's working her butt off on it, and it's time, guys. We are less, or I should say, just a little more than a month away from the Tax Pro Summit. So please book your tickets. Please book your hotel stays. I already booked mine. I finally booked my hotel stay right before this class. I'd like to see a files area on LMS instead of having to look through each class. Lewis, let's get together on that and see if it's something that we can do. And if we can, we will. I don't know I think the way that they have it set up right now is to keep things organized so everything's in one place. But I don't know how the back end of that thing works. So of that website works. So I will talk to Lewis on a private level, maybe tomorrow, and I'll go through with it. I'll go through it. Sorry. All right. I don't see any questions. So you guys have yourselves a great night. I will get this out to you guys tonight. Tax Pro Summit, book it. And I will see you guys soon. If you like the class, don't forget to leave reviews as well on the TSG Google page, on your group chats, whatever. It makes me feel good when you tell your mentors how great I am. So I appreciate it. Or maybe its own subcategory. Yes, Chris, maybe. Let me see how it works. I've never dealt with the back end of things, but maybe. All right, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Again, any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for staying with me tonight and dealing with the technical difficulties. I truly appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We'll talk soon. Bye.